Let's go over the best 5 and 4-star recruiting method in college football Dynasty 25. So I already have a video similar to this already on my channel that I dropped over a month ago, but as the game been out for a period of time, you kind of learn more about the game, how it plays, and then they also dropped a recent patch that slightly tweaked a few things about recruiting. So this is going to be pretty much a 2.0 of that with some better tips and tricks and more information. Man, if y'all enjoyed the content, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, man. Check out my Temple series. We got a bunch of different things going on the channel. My Temple series have been going crazy, so make sure to check that out. All right, so for this, we're actually going to go with Rice, man. I almost went with San Diego State 2-star program, but it was too easy. We're going to go with Rice, a true 1-star program. They are located in Texas, man, so I feel like it shouldn't be too difficult because we do have a lot of high-level recruits in the area. So we're going to go with a 1-star program like Rice. We're going to go ahead and make our own head coach. We'll come in here, we're going to pick a recruiter. We're not going to change our alma mater, but when it comes to the pipeline, we actually going to pick a pipeline that's going to be useful. We're going to go Southwest Texas. And, let's pick what we're already strong at, man. We should already have a solid pipeline boost in Texas. So let's double down on that. We're not going to change our alma mater. It does not matter. And we're going to continue, and then we're going to advance. Another thing to note, we're actually going to upgrade our head coach this time, man. In the previous ones, I would never upgrade our head coach. Listen, I want to kind of show y'all my process of how I upgrade recruiters, coaches in this game. So, I'm going to make sure we do that. But when I come over here to the prospect list, I want to go over the 4 stars. Then I want to search by any 4 stars, 5 stars that's interested in us. And we have none. When I went with the San Diego State, we had like 8. I feel like that's too easy, man. That's too easy. So let's come over here. We got to start from scratch and got to find some players that we actually got to work for. So what I'm going to do is, man, I'm going to go by the state of Texas, and then I'm going to see if I can find any 4 or 5 stars that I want to add to the board. All right, so searching by the state of Texas, this is going to be the only state where we have a pipeline boost that's above 1, man. We have a 3 pipeline boost, the gold one, and it's not even for the whole state of Texas. It's only going to be for part of it, so let's keep that in mind. But we're going to add a few of these 4 stars to the board, man. Add a few of these guys. I don't know why it's glitching out like that, but we're going to go through and add a few of these 4 stars. Also going to come over here to the 5 stars. I'm going to add a few of them, man. It's only 2 of them from Texas that we have that really good pipeline boost. Only one of them I can actually add to our board. So I'm going to have to add one of these 1 pipeline boost guys as well. Add a few of those. Let's see, go with at least 3. I do want to add at least 1 more 5-star that we could potentially go after. And let's wait to do that. We're going to come back over to the 4 stars and add some more of those. All right, so we added 18 different players. One thing I wanted to make sure I do is the deal breaker. The deal breaker has to either be playing time or staying close to home. I do not want to add any players that deal breakers have to do with, whether it's brand exposure, because that could change throughout the year. Playing style is the big one. I don't want to add any players with playing style because we know that's going to go bad, man. If y'all know recruiting in this game, do not add the playing styles players to your team, at least not early on. So let's go ahead. At this point, we could offer scholarships. We could also, do some scouting. But for me, I'm not going to scout these 4 and 5-star players, man. It's no point. We know as a 1-star program, we know these players are going to come in and damn near be able to start, man. These players are going to come in into the mid-70 overalls, especially these 5 and 4 stars, and they're going to be able to play an impact on your team day 1. So scouting them is not a huge deal, but since we're not going after any other players, I'm just going to do do some scouting here and there. So we're doing some scouting. We find a bust cornerback, and then we also found a gem at the wide receiver position. He's an athlete. But this bust cornerback, we're going to keep this in mind because this player might be a little bit easier to get, man. These bust players at the 5-star rank, they don't get as heavily recruited from what I've seen. So this might be a player easier to get. So let's keep that in mind. We're going to continue to add, continue to scout some of these other guys, though. So I did all the scouting. I want to make sure I note, right now we only got 3 5 stars on our board for now. Don't worry. We're gonna try to get into the mix with some of these other 5 stars later in the cycle. But for now, this is what we're going with, man. We're gonna go ahead and advance 18 players on the board. Let's go ahead and move on and see what we can do. So actually, before I advance, what I want to do for this time, I want to come in here to the schedule. Listen, I want to make sure I'm adding some big time games for some of these games I can actually change in our schedule. So week 9, that's going to be a prime time visit week. Let's throw Notre Dame on that. Let's do, what is this, week 6. Let's also throw another big game at that spot as well. Number 3, Texas. Got too many games on the list. That's not a problem. We're gonna remove this this FCS game. We don't want that anyway. Let's go ahead, schedule. Yep, throw that number 3 Texas on there. And then I also want to make sure that these games are going to be home, man. Make sure to change these games to home. And then we're going to do one more, week 12. We're going to remove the week 1 game. And then we're going to go back here to week 12. And make sure we're adding some of these games at these prime time visit spots, man. Because if you're able to put some of these players on a visit and then you win, that recruitment is going to go absolutely crazy. It's going to shoot up. So we're going to put Alabama there for week 12. And like I said, these are some prime time visit weeks, man. So we're going to make sure we also have all home games at that position, as many as you could change as possible. All right, so I think the schedule glitched out a little bit because I think y'all just seen what I did. How the hell do we have Notre Dame week 0? I put Notre Dame for one of these weeks. Maybe I'm tripping. Maybe I put them at week 0, but whatever. We got Notre Dame week 0 instead of, when I actually scheduled them. So we come back in here into the recruiting list. And let's look here, man. So a couple of these schools are heavily going after some of these guys. Like a guy like this, every school in the nation offer him a scholarship. We're going to go after the bust cornerback because, like I said, he's going to be a good player for us, man. If he comes in with impact development as a 5-star, he comes in at an 80, let's say a 76 overall, 77. That still might start on our team, man. That still probably is a good player. So we're going to send a house for some of these guys, send a house for this guy as well. And we're just looking through who is not that heavily recruited because, that's the perfect opportunity for us to come in, swoop in and really have an opportunity to win that recruitment, especially when we have that 3 pipeline boost, man. So let's continue to see. We got another gem right here. Let's go after this guy right here who also is a bust on the old line. But we got to take what we could get, man, as a true 1-star program. As you get up in program prestige, then you're able to go after, whoever you want. But we're not at that point right now. We're not at that point at all. And then the last guy we're going to go after is this guy right here, this middle linebacker. And let's go ahead and move him up on the board. And we're going after 8 different players to start off, or 7 different players. We're not going to go after this 1 5-star right now just because every school is recruiting them. So this is how we're going to move forward. All right, so after we advance, we move up on all of these guys' lists, man. So 2nd place, 3rd, 2nd place, 4th place, 2nd, 4th. And mind you, we was not on any of those guys' boards at all. So to move up on their list is great to see. But we got to continue to move up, man. We got to continue to move up. Some of these guys is going to be a tough recruitment. You will not get every single guy when it comes to these 4 and 5 stars as a 1-star program, man. This is a risky game. This is a risky game, man. A game I would not recommend playing when it comes to the 5 stars. Personally, I would not recruit any 5 stars as a 1-star program because it's too risky, man. More times than not, you're going to lose out on all the 5 stars you go after. If you bring in 1, 2 as a 1-star program, you're lucky. You're more so lucky. But we're gonna see if we can do it here in this position. We only got 350 hours to work with, man. Only 350 hours to work with. But let's continue to advance. Nothing else for us to do at this point. We can't put the hard sell on yet. Our grades are not great. So for some players, we might not be able to ever hard sell them, man. So we just gotta keep that in mind. And we also gonna get out as soon as possible. Once we see we're losing a recruitment, we're going to get out. We're not going to stay here and try to win. No, we're going to get out and go after another player, man. Let's advance. Actually, before we advance, we're going to come in here to the coach upgrades. I'm going at the 2 wide receivers right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into the wide receiver archetype, man. We're just going to put in to a tier 2 so we can actually get a little bit of a bigger boost for some of the wide receivers. We would do tier 3, but we don't have extra hours to spend anyway. So no point of doing that yet. So we're just going to only do the tier 2 for a lot of these athletes, a lot of these positions, I should say. All right, so we advanced another week. Not much here to update other than we might need to get out on this right guard and then also this quarterback. Oklahoma is going after them heavy, man. Going after those guys heavy. And we just got to see. We just got to see if they're going to stay in that race the whole time. If they put him on a visit, listen, we might just have to get out at some point. That's fine. Let's come over here to the prospect list. And let's see what we see, man. Let's see if any of these 5 stars that we could go after are being under-recruited. And we have a couple of them here, man. We have a couple of them here. For now, we're just going to add those 3 to the board. Let's come over here to the 4 stars. Any 4 stars being under-recruited that we have the pipeline boost for, like a guy like this, nobody offer him a scholarship. Let's go ahead and add that to our board. Let's add these other guys to our board as well that we had that 3 pipeline boost for, and let's even add the 1 pipeline boost we have as well. And then, you know, if we do have them hours freed up, if we advance another week and we still feel like we're not in a good spot for these 2 players, listen, we're going to get out and we're going to pivot to one of these other players expeditiously. All right, so going through his hard sells, it's 2 different options. We will have to guess, and, you know, we don't want to guess at this point because they pretty much increased the penalty for guessing wrong. So we don't want to guess. For the right guard, Oklahoma is still in first place, but it looks like we might have a chance, man. We're going to stay in the race for now. Same for the guy right here, Dave. This is a guy I'm more considering getting out on just because I don't think we'll ever be able to put a great hard sell on. But, you know, the sooner you're able to identify you need to get out, the better. And, you know, we're going to play a little bit safe. And we're going to get out on, let's see. We're just going to stay in on both of these guys for now. And we're going to advance again. All right, so we advanced another week, looking at the 2 players we consider getting out on. And listen, I'm more than capable of admitting I made the wrong decision. And like I said, I should have trusted my gut. My gut was telling me to get out for both of these guys. Like I said, this recruitment is not completely over. There's a chance we could, slim chance, but it's a chance we still could come back and win the recruitment if we did put the proper hard sell on. Maybe we put them on a visit, but not a risk I'm willing to take, man. We have to get out, you know, once we see that another school is dominating the recruitment, a bigger school, so to say, as well. So we're going to get out on both of these guys, and now we have 100 hours freed up. Now we're able to put some of these other guys on the visit, and then we're also able to go after, let's go after this wide receiver right here, offer him a scholarship, put in the 50 hours from the start, man. Put in the 50 hours on a guy like that from the start. Now we have 40 hours left to spend, and this is where, you know, we're going to put one of the 5 stars on. I wanted to put one of the 5 stars on a visit. They have not hit their top 5 yet, so we can't put one of those on the visit, just not yet. But we do have a wide receiver right here. Let's actually go with the gym linebacker. Let's actually put him on the visit first. And we're going to put him on the visit for week 6, that Texas game. That's going to be real big for us if we're able to win that game. Actually, let's go with the Charlotte game, man. Both games are going to give us the same bonus, it appears. Both games seem like to give us the same amount of bonus. So let's go with the game we're more likely to win. We're going to put staying close to home for his visit. And it's going to be called the family visit, and that's perfect. Now we got 5 hours left to spend. Let's come down here. Let's see, who do we want to offer a scholarship to? One of these guys. Let's go with the number 91st ranked player in the nation, offer him a scholarship, see if we're able to get into the mix for that guy, and we're going to remove the guys from our board that we're no longer in the mix for. All right, so after advancing a week, coming back in here to recruiting, let's see, we're in a good spot, man. This guy, Alex, is coming on the visit for, I believe, this week right here against Charlotte. These 2 guys, you know, recruitment is pretty much over for both of them, especially this guy. This guy, they decided to put on the visit. So when they put a guy on the visit, they pretty much remove the hours, and they, you know, use those hours to put him on the visit. So that recruitment is over, man. That recruitment is over. We're going to remove those 2 guys off of our board. Now, we are in the spot to put the hard sell on some of these guys, but our hard sell grades are not great for everyone. But a guy like this, like Tyler, we might be able to throw the proper hard sell on, and it might actually be useful, man. Let's go through, see if we can find it. What his perfect pitch going to be. It's going to be this one right here. Oh, man, playing style, of course, which is a F. We're still going to try it, man. We're still going to try it. Playing style as an F is absolutely crazy, but we're still gonna put that hard sell on. Then we're gonna put the extra 10 hours in. Now we got 50 hours still here to spend, man. I want to put another guy on the visit. Let's go with the bus, man. Let's go with the bus guy because I think we have a little bit better of a chance to get him. We're gonna go with the week 6 visit against Texas. Listen, it's against Texas. We might not win it, but it is what it is. We're gonna put the playing style visit on. And we also could try the hard sell. I just don't know how much it's going to do, but we're going to try to put it on as well. All right, so I went through, made sure I put the hard sell on everyone. We had a few hours left over, so I just offered some scholarship to these 2 players as well, just in case we want to go after at some point. So we're in a solid spot. We're only going after 6 recruits to start off, and that's fine, man. That's fine. We want to get 3 stars. That's not going to be any issue getting 3 stars in this game. So I'm not going to worry about 3 stars until later in the year, or even the off season, man. All right, so coming back in here at recruiting after we had a few guys on a visit. I think it was just this guy right here on the visit. But look how much influence we gained, man. This recruitment damn near over. this is great to see, man. The visit went well. We did end up winning the game by 3 points, but the visit did go well, so that's great to see, man. So we gained a lot of influence on a guy like that. The 5-star is here as well. DJ is here as well. Let's go ahead and put DJ on his visit. Damn, this would have been perfect. We could have put him on this week 9 visit, man. If that Notre Dame game did not get glitched out, we would have put him on that week 9 visit. I think the week 10 visit might be a little bit, no, it's no point in putting him on the week 10 when, you know, it's pretty much the same exact visit as the UTSA visit week 7. And you always want to do the visits as soon as possible, because if you do the week 12 visit right here, which would be a big boost if we did win, but it's too far out in advance, man. He may never make it to that visit. He may commit before that. So what we're going to do is put him on the visit for week 7. It looked like staying close to home is going to be his best motivation, so we're going to do that for the visit. And we might even try to see if we can put the hard sell on him as well. Let's continue to look at recruiting for this other wide receiver. I don't even think we had to put him on a visit, man. Texas Tech is trying to come back, but it might be a little bit too late, man. The whole concept is when you're a smaller school to get ahead and you get so far ahead, by the time these other schools get into the mix, it's too late. And that might be the situation for Buck right here, man. As long as the recruitment continues to go a little bit fast, I think he's going to commit over the next 2 to 3 weeks. But a guy like this, Baylor is on our body. Baylor's on our body, man. This is a guy I would heavily consider getting out on. Just look how much influence they gained over this past week compared to us. I don't think we got much of a chance. Like, that's a recruitment I would probably just get out of right now. The only chance we got is to put him on a visit. But he does visit Baylor week 9. We're currently at week 6. We're going to get out on that recruitment, man. We are in first place. But that's too big of a risk. Too big of a risk when we have other guys on the board to get out of. When he goes in that week 9 visit, the recruitment is going to be absolutely cooked. So I'm going to go ahead and remove my hours. You know, yes, it was a waste, but you got to be able to identify when it's time to get out. And that's time to get out, man. That is 100% time to get out. And let's go after one of these other guys, a guy like this who's a little bit lower down the board. But I think we do have a chance to get, man. I think we do have a chance because nobody else is heavily recruiting them. Go at a guy like this, move him up on our list, and, you know, we're going to rock out like that. We do have 10 hours left over. We're going to throw the extra 10 hours on, let's see. Let's do it this player right here, see if we're able to get into that recruitment as well. And let's go ahead and advance. Or, excuse me, we do have some coach points to use, so let's actually make sure we use them before. So we're going after a couple defensive backs. So I want to come in here to the coach, and let's actually use some of our hours on the defensive backs, man. It only makes sense to upgrade that. And we're going to go all the way to tier 3. And then we're going to come back in here to recruiter. And then we're going to remove those 10 hours because those 10 hours really are not going to do much for this guy right here. Remove those 10 hours. And then we can come over here to the 5-star cornerback we're going after and put in an extra 5 hours. That's all we can do. Put in an extra 5 hours at this point. And then we do have some more hours, and we can put an extra 5 hours into this player as well. So we advanced another week. I did force the win against Texas. The reason I did that, to give us the best possible chance to get these recruits. When you're actually playing your dynasty and, you know, you schedule yourself against a good program, if you beat that program, you're going to get a big boost when it comes to, you know, that player actually being on the visit. So that's what we did, man. If you call that cheating, I get it. But I'm not calling it cheating, man. We forced the win against Texas. It is what it is, and it gave us a big boost, man. You don't have to schedule a school as big as Texas to get that boost, man. You can schedule, you know, a big time, you know, you can schedule, you know, Penn State. You know, you can schedule a little bit of a smaller program. Whatever is a program that's better than what you're currently at. If you schedule a 3-star program, a 3 prestige program, that will work just as well as scheduling Texas if you beat them. But this recruitment is damn near over, man. Like I said, we put him on that week 6 visit against Texas, and we forced that win, 135-30. Texas is not looking great, but we're in a good spot. We're in a good spot for that 5-star right there. This guy right here, he's on a week 7 visit. I think we're going to do the same thing when it comes to forcing the win. Just because, like I said, when you're in that dynasty, you're going to put a player on a visit for a team you're going to beat, or a team, you know, you're going to play out of body to make sure you beat that team. We're going to put the hard sell on this other guy right here, DJ. And let's continue to look. We're also in a good spot for this guy, Houston, or Alex. He does go on a visit week 9 in Houston, but I don't think he ever gets to that visit. And let's continue to see. We do have 40 hours here. if we want to use them somewhere. Let's see, where do we want to use the 40 hours? Is there anyone we could put on the visit that we already don't? Nobody, nope, nobody to put on the visit. So let's go ahead and put the 50 hours. Let's go ahead, excuse me, it's 40 hours, but once we remove this, and then we're also remove this, then it'll be a total of 50 hours, and then we could go after another 4-star down on our board. We're gonna go after this guy right here, free safety, and then let's advance again. All right, so coming back in here to recruiting, listen, we balling, man. We are balling. I'm a little bit scared about that Ohio State visit. I'm a little bit scared about that, but I think we're fine, man. I actually do think we're fine. Oh, man, Ole Miss is also trying to come back in this recruitment. We're doing as much as we can. This might be a situation where we need to add some more hours. We'll see. We'll see. We're going to leave it like that for now. This guy will commit after this week, so we will have some hours freed up to use. Same here. This guy will also commit. We're pretty much looking good for a lot of these 4-stars we're going after. We don't have any hours to use, so let's just go ahead and advance again. Before we advance, I want to make sure I come back in here and make sure I get that tier 2. It's going to give an extra boost for linebackers, and we are going after a linebacker right now, so let's make sure we get that boost. All right, so there you have it, man. Just like that, 1-star program. We signed a 5-star cornerback from Florida. Easy. That was easy. That was relatively easy, man. Easy signing. Let's go. We also get the 4-star out of Texas middle linebacker. We also get the wide receiver out of Texas, 4-star, and we're looking good. We're in a good spot, man. I feel good about our situation right now. Let's continue to go hop back in recruiting, and we got some hours to use here. All right, so I think we're at the point with DJ, the wide receiver, where we need to put in more hours if we want to win this recruitment. So this is why, you know, I only use our coaches' points when I need them, man. So I always want to have some in the tuck for when I need to pull them out. In this situation, I need to upgrade our wide receiver to tier 3, so we're able to allocate some more hours. And now I'm able to come back in here to recruiter, and I'm able to now just put in a little bit more hours. Let's go ahead. Now we can put in the full 65, so I can remove DM the player, and then we're going to contact family and friends. Really go all out for that guy, man. I really just need that recruitment to get over with as soon as possible. Now let's look, man. We also could put the hard sell on a guy like this. We also can put him on a visit. So we're going to put him on that Alabama visit, man. We're going to put him on for, let's see, brand exposure seems to be our highest, pretty much our highest motivation. We also going to throw that hard sell on him as well. So we throw the hard sell on him, then we also could put the 25 hours into him as well, since we did upgrade. He's a wide receiver, so we got that same exact boost. And let's look here, man. We also could put a little bit extra hours into a guy like this. Let's do it, man. Let's do it. Let's put in the full 75 hours, send the house, and then also put the 75. This is the linebacker we decided to get out on because we knew that recruitment was pretty much over. Now we got 50 hours. We got 50 hours. We got 3 commitments, and we feel good about a few of these other players, man. Listen, my goal with this is not to bring in the full 35-man class. That's not realistic when you're a small school going after 4 and 5 stars. My goal is to bring in 15, 20, you know, maybe 10 throughout the regular season, and then you backfill the class in the off season with 3 stars. I dropped a video recently how to you could add a whole high school recruiting class just in the off season, man. I dropped pretty much a whole video on that. It's super easy, but we're gonna come back over here to the prospect list. And let's just see, man. Let's see what we see. Any more 5 stars we get in the mix on? Nope, no more 5 stars we get in the mix on. What about 4 stars? It's a few. It's a few 4 stars being under recruited that we could potentially get into the mix on. Let's add a few of these guys to our board, because why wouldn't we? Why wouldn't we, man? Let's add all of these guys to the board, and we're gonna actually pursue a few of them. Let's see. Any of them we got a pipeline boost for. This guy right here. So we're gonna offer the scholarship. Then we also gonna put that 50 hours in, move him up on the list, and let's advance. All right, so we at week 10. I'm a little bit concerned. I am a little bit concerned, man. Look at this. So we're going all out for a player like this. I feel like the hard sell, look how little influence we're gaining, man. I feel like we got to take the hard sell on, and we just got to see what the center house do, man. We got to see if the center house is going to do more influence in the hard sell, because it's not getting it done. Like, we're going to lose this recruitment. He goes on a visit week 12. We're at week 10 right now. If he gets to that visit, it's wraps. It's wraps. So let's try to send the house. And listen, don't be scared to flip back and forth if you feel like one is not doing enough, man. Same situation here. Texas, or excuse me, Oregon is now in the mix for this 5-star. They're really trying to pursue him. I think we might also have to try that center house again, man. I don't know if that hard sell is doing enough for me. I don't know. We do have 2 B grades and a C. We're going to leave it for now. But this guy, the other 4-star, we could put him on a visit for Alabama. So we're going to do exactly that, man. We're going to do exactly that. It seems like our highest grade is going to be brand exposure. We also could now put a hard sell on him as well. So let's make sure we're doing that as also and put that hard sell on him. And we got an extra 5 hours. Let's go ahead and offer a scholarship to one of these players. We're going to go with this guy right here. And let's go ahead and advance. All right, so for this player right here, we advance DJ. I think we lose. I think we lost his recruitment, man. Like, we pretty much gained the same amount of influence from the hard sell to the soft sell, or excuse me, from the hard sell to the center house. And if he does not commit after this week, the recruitment is over. We tried our best, man, and that's just how it's going to go. That is how it's going to go for some of these players, man. You will not be able to win all these recruitments, especially as a small program. All you can do is try your best. But looks like that recruitment is going to be pretty much over. I don't think we're going to win that one. Same thing with a guy like this. He comes to Rice week 12, but week 13 he goes to Oregon. We need him to commit before he goes to Oregon, man. That's just what it has to be. We need him to commit before that week 13 visit. Some of these other guys down the board, we're in a solid spot. We do have 45 hours left to spend, and let's go ahead and throw him on this player right here. And let's see, is it any hours we could free up? Anywhere we could get 5 hours from somewhere that we don't need them? I don't think so. It looks like all the hours we're using, we pretty much absolutely need them there. So we're just gonna put 40 hours here, and then we're gonna have about 5 hours left over to offer another scholarship. Let's go with the tight end. So we now also going after DN. So let's come over here back to recruiter. Let's go over to the defensive line and let's add that tier 2 so we get a little bit of a bonus for our recruiting actions. And now we're going to advance. All right, we advanced another week, and we are not in a great spot, man. We are not in a great spot. So DJ, we're out on. Nothing we can do. He's on a visit right now to Ole Miss, and Ole Miss also moved to first place. So what we're going to do is remove him from our board, man. Save our hours. He's a lost cause. Same thing with this guy right here. He's coming, or we won't remove him yet. He's coming on a visit to us this week, so let's actually not remove him just yet. Let's see how the visit goes. Maybe he commits on the visit, man. Just maybe he commits on the visit with us. Maybe. We'll see. We're going to see. This other guy, we're in a good spot. 4-star safety. This guy, we're also tracking with him as well. We might as well just throw the extra. Nah, let's leave it like that. Come back over here for this guy. We're going to make sure we send in the house. Remove these 40 hours and then come in here and actually send a house for this guy. And now we could also send a house for Dave right here. And we got 10 hours left over. Let's offer this scholarship just in case we want to go after him at some point. And then we got 5 hours left. Let's throw him on this right end, and now we could advance. All right, so we get another commit, 4-star safety. Another commit, another 4-star safety. Both out of Texas, man. Bringing 2 more safeties, and we're looking good when it comes to the 3-stars, man. We are looking good when it comes to the 3-stars. We have 1 5-star in the class, and I think we're just going to end with 1 because it looks like this guy is also, it looks like we're out on him, man, just because he's coming on that visit. He's on a visit to Oregon right now. We're at week 13. He didn't commit on our visit, man. We needed him to commit on our visit. He did not. He did not commit on our visit. So I think we just remove him, man. I think we just remove him, cut our losses, go after another guy. Listen, the whole process is get out when you realize you cannot get that recruit. Get out when you realize you cannot get that recruit, man. Something you have to live by in this game, and something we certainly, make sure we're doing as well. Now, this guy right here, we could put him on a visit for week 14, so we're going to do that, man. We are always going to put a player on a visit, especially late in the process like this. So we're going to put him on a visit. We could put a couple guys on the visit. Oh, no, that's the only guy we actually can put on the visit. But we have some extra hours. So what I'm going to do, of course, I'm going to come back over here to the 4-star list. Any more 4-stars, any 5-stars decommitted, you never know. Never know. No 5-stars decommitted. We did remove the guy from our board that we wasn't first place for. Any 4-stars. Let's make sure we go through, check every position. Because if you just go by 4-stars right here, listen, it do not show you every 4-star, man. Look, it only show you 332 of the 4-star, or up to, excuse me, it only show you 300 4-stars. There are more 4-stars than that. For example, if you come over here to quarterback, you see it, quarterback 467, and he is a 4-star. So there are more 4-stars than, you know, what that screen will show you. So you need to come in here and pretty much check every position and, you know, see if there's actually any more 4-stars. You go out there and look here. There's 2 more at the wide receiver position. We go out there and we're going to continue to go through. Listen, some tight ends. We're going to continue to go through, see what we can find. So we offer scholarships, and we put in 50 hours for these 2 4-stars we just added. And now we're allocating all our hours. We're going to go ahead and advance. All right, so we advanced to the end of the regular season, and we're still in a solid spot for some of these guys. Nothing we could do at this point, man. All our hours are being allocated. And I'm pretty much going to advance to, I think, the off season and see where our recruiting class is at that point. All right, so we advanced to the transfer portal, and we're in an interesting spot. So we're at 6 total commitments. That might not sound great, but like I said, we're only looking to bring in about 15 players. So 6 commitments, and then also if you continue to pursue like a guy like this, you will get him, man. If you continue to pursue him, put the hard sell back on him, put the max out hours, schedule the visit, this will be another 4-star in the class. Also, a guy like this, Dave, you're in first place. Continue to recruit him. You could come back and win some of these other recruitments. And listen, you could bring in, you know, 10 of these 4-stars. And one thing I also want to make sure I'm letting y'all know, listen, we're all the way late in the process. We're at the end of the year. But you can bring in, I don't want to say unlimited, but you could bring in damn near unlimited 3-stars, man. You don't have to focus on 3-stars throughout the year. Like, look at this. We are at the prospect list for high schools. These are all 3-stars that have us on their board. You could bring a lot of these guys in for damn near nothing, man. For damn near nothing. They're under-recruited, and you can scout them, figure out who's good, who's not. Even the guys that not on your list, they're even easier to bring in sometimes. Because look at this. You just put 50 hours in, send the house, you're going to move up to first place, and these other schools will not even get into the mix. And look how many of these guys are here at the 3-star ranks. So when I tell y'all, don't really worry about the 3-stars until later in the process, this is what I mean, man. At every position, they will be like this. You could bring in 3-stars with no issues. And that's not even considering the transfer portal. Then you come over here to the transfer portal, and you got 4-stars you could bring in. We got, let's see, we got some. It's 1 5-star in the transfer portal. It's a 4-star. It's 3 4-stars interested in us that we can actually bring in. That's cool to see. And then you come over here to the 3-stars. Let's see. We got a couple 3-stars we can actually bring in at the transfer portal ranks. So listen, your team is going to be fine. You're going to be able to bring in your 15 to 20 man roster doing this method. You just have to be, you know, you have to have a strategy, man. You have to come into the season knowing you're only bringing in, you know, you're bringing in the small recruiting class, but your recruiting class is going to be talented. Listen, I'm allocating the rest of my recruiting hours for the pretty much all the recruits is going at during the season. And I'm not gonna go into any of these other you know, guys, because I just want to finish off my recruiting class, and that's all I'm focused on right here. But listen, at this point you could add other players. I already went through it, who you could add, you know, how you can add them. But we're just gonna put a bunch of these players on visits, and then we're also gonna put some hours in, and then we're just gonna advance, man. Make sure we bring in, you know, finish off our high school recruiting class. All right, so we simmed to National Signing Day, and we brought in 10 total guys. There's one guy we did not get from the high school ranks, but listen, you can't be mad at this as a as a 1-star program. You bringing in 10 4-stars or non-4-stars and 1 5-star. You can't be mad at that. Sprinkle in, you know, 7 to 8 other 3-stars. You're in a great spot, man. Bringing a 17, 20-man class with nothing but 4, 5, and 3-stars. That's great. That's great. We didn't do it here because, like I said, I didn't feel like going through and adding some 3-stars. But if you're actually Dynasty, you're going to go through and do that. But I hope y'all learned something. I hope y'all, you know, took something away from this video. If y'all did, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, man. I appreciate y'all for watching. We on to the next one.